Is the Jeep Gladiator a good daily driver? Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here. So is the Jeep Gladiator a good daily driver? You know, I'm out doing a little daily driving in the Jeep Gladiator right now. It's actually a cold, crappy day here. You might be able to hear the rain actually hitting on the soft top, which I will say is a bit quieter than if I had the Freedom panels in. But anyway, back to the question at hand. Does the Jeep Gladiator make for a good daily driver? You know, most people, I would say, don't have multiple vehicles, either by choice or they just can't, or for whatever reason. So when you go out and you buy a new vehicle, you're going to be living in it every time you need to go somewhere, right? Whether it's to work every day or running errands or whatever the case might be. So you want something that's going to be capable, comfortable, fun to drive. In my case, you always have to have something that's fun to drive. There's nothing worse than having a vehicle that you just despise getting into, right? So let's talk about those things with the Jeep Gladiator. You know, I've had this thing for, I don't know, several months now, through its trials and tribulations, which, by the way, quick little health report, haven't had any check engine lights come on. My auto stop failure light seems to be cured. It's been several weeks now since I had it in for the software upgrade, and no lights. Everything is good. The Jeep is like it's a should have been when I bought it, I guess. But in driving it around, first of all, fuel economy, for anybody that's concerned. And I know the argument out there always is, well, if you're worried about fuel economy, why are you driving a truck? I don't know, maybe because I want a truck. But irregardless, it's not great. You know, if I'm doing more, I guess, high-speed driving, you know, freeway-type driving, stuff like that, I can hit in the 20s. When I'm out cruising around like I am right now, more city driving, slower speeds, I'm more in the 17s or so mile per gallon range. So it's not great. It's not like driving a subcompact car and you're going to get, you know, 30 plus mile to the gallon or even more in some. But for a truck, I'd say it hits right about average, maybe a little higher slightly than a lot of the other trucks out there are getting. So from a fuel economy standpoint, not too bad. From a comfort standpoint, you know, I have talked about this probably more than I should on the channel, and it is very comfortable. I would say it is the most comfortable mid-size truck I've ever had, including the Tacoma that I have now. You know, the seats are more, they must be more padded, more plush, I guess, than what we have in the Tacoma. Now, I do have leather seats in the Tacoma, which tend to be a little bit firmer, a little bit harder, so it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison there. I think if I had cloth seats in the Tacoma, it would be a little bit closer to the Jeep Gladiator, which I've had before, by the way, cloth seats in the Tacoma. But still, not quite as comfortable as what the Tacoma is, or the Jeep Gladiator is, I should say. Bumps and things like that in the road. You know, the roads here are, I wouldn't say they're horrid, but they're not great. A lot of bumps, a lot of uneven surfaces and things that you have to go over. And the ride in the Gladiator is just more cushioned, more smooth. In other words, when you hit those divots and bumps and things, they don't slam you in the Jeep. It just kind of comfortably goes over them, right? So you're not going to get beaten around driving in a Jeep Gladiator, unlike some of the other trucks out there. Even without, and I'll talk about the Tacoma now, I have, of course, a lift and bigger wheels and tires, so I do have a firmer ride in that truck anyway. But even before I did that, it is a harsher ride in the Toyota Tacoma. And I'm using the Tacoma as comparison, obviously, because I have one. Visibility, you can see everything out of here. I don't really have any issues with visibility. Certainly nothing worse than any other truck. So it's perfectly fine when it comes to that. Road noise, you guys can hear as I drive around. You can hear the rain kind of tinging on the, not really tinging, plodding, slamming I don't know, impacting the soft top. It would be a little bit more tingy, if you will, or louder if I had the Freedom panels in, because really all they are is just a little thin composite plastic or fiberglass. So you would get more sound than I'm getting right now with this soft top. We did a video the other day about wind. You know, not a big concern. I mean, how often is it, you know, really, really windy outside? But it is a consideration. You can feel more wind when it is windy in the Jeep Gladiator, and it's just part of the driving daily experience of having one. The technology and stuff inside is all there. You know, I recently upgraded mine, and I would highly recommend this, especially if you're in the market and you're just looking to buy one. The 8.4-inch touchscreen is fantastic. If you have the option to get that, throw that into your deal. The dealer can easily swap out those radios. It's not difficult. I did it. They certainly can do it. But the tech is all there. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the Bluetooth connectivity, satellite, you know, the camera views, all that stuff. Makes it just that more pleasant and convenient, I guess, when you're backing the truck up, to have that nice big picture on that screen in front of you. Power-wise, as I mentioned earlier, it has plenty of power. You're never going to be lacking driving this thing around. You know, I mentioned there's nothing worse than having an underpowered truck, something that feels like it won't get out of it its own way, right? That's a bummer. You're not going to get that as you're out zipping around doing your daily stuff, living life in your Jeep Gladiator. It's fantastic. The other thing I'll mention, and this isn't really related, I suppose, but sort of, to daily driving, and that's resale. You know, the Jeep product, particularly the Wranglers, and I have no reason to believe it's not going to carry over into the Gladiator as well, have always held their value really well. So if you get one of these and you're like me and you trade out frequently, maybe you're going to drive it for 2 or 3 years or something like that, it's going to hold its value really well. You'll be able to hop into the next one and get the highest that you can get out of the Jeep Gladiator. So that is another benefit, I guess, as to having one. The last thing I'll mention is just, and this is kind of personal preference, but style and uniqueness. You know, there's just a sense, an air of pride when you're driving it around, because it is unique, it is different, it does catch the eye, and although it is a rather polarizing vehicle, it seems people either love them or hate them, it's just a good feeling to be driving around in the Jeep Gladiator. Something you can't really measure, but something that you definitely experience when you're having one and tooling around in it as a daily driver. Anyway, I would highly recommend it for that. If you're in the market or you want a truck either for weekend projects or maybe you use it as it's intended daily, definitely consider the Jeep Gladiator. It's an awesome daily driver. I probably drive it a little bit more than I do my Tacoma. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment, let me know if you daily drive a Jeep Gladiator. What do you think of it? Would you recommend it? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, got a couple other channels if you're interested. One is Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. Check that out. Also, a third channel now, just started not long ago, about the Honda Civic. I love the Civic. It's probably one of my most favorite cars of all time, to be quite honest. A blast to drive in manual transmission form. Check that channel out. It is Rob Motive Civic. Real quick, don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.